Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Aha. Now you not done here, all these bad politicians, then we call themselves politicians. When they thief our money, we no want to make the common man get waiting supposed get for this country. Una never hear something. Now go hear one, Maiyegun, you go show una paper. Maiyegun diary Politico. So my people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh,
yo. My people make we shout. I like that part. Thank you very much for joining me. This is Maiyegun live. It don't happen. It don't shell. A trailer don't jam am. Finally, Wakili, the famous warlord of the famous Fulani Warlord in Ibarapa land, the one that reinforced after the former Seriki Fulani in Egongon, the one that told the people of Egongon that 1 million of them couldn't send him away after the atrocities committed by the people he was superintendent on. So after the Seriki Fulani ran away from Egongon, then a name came up, Wakili, the most dangerous, the most notorious of them all. In Ibarapa Forest, Okeogun, Ayete, and the environs. Who is Wakili? Who could be that powerful that after what happened in Egongon was so emboldened and so courageous to continue to pile up arms and threaten the locals, telling them they can go to hell. Nobody. will send him away from Ibarapa forest. But somehow he was right, because after what happened that year in Igogon, Wakili was reported to have reinforced by bringing in more armed Fulani terrorists into that axis. There was even a time that it was rumored that Wakili has run away, that he ran away because they chased him away with Oru in Yoruba, sort of powerful stuff, so to say. I'll talk about that later. All those ended up as rumors. The government of Oyo State could not touch him. Yes, they could not probe him, investigate him, or investigate the crimes that they have committed in that axis that prompted the people to insist that they will no longer coexist with these guys anymore. So this whole drama started on the 7th of January 2021, when Amoyekun squad moved to flush out terrorists in 4 local government areas of Oyo State. So they were successful in 3 local governments until they got to the last one, where they got, engaged in gun battle with this, fully armed Fulani terrorists. Amoyekun corps members sustained injuries, and they killed 7 of these terrorists, disarmed 48. That was the news on the 7th of January 2021, until Abuja called and told them to change the story. The people you arrested are not Fulani terrorists. They are vigilantes. That is the story you have to go and tell your people. The following day, Oyo State government changed the story from subduing armed terrorists to, well, indeed, we killed 7 people, but those are the criminals. But you see the 48 people we arrested with guns, they were actually vigilantes in that area. How could vigilantes, Fulani vigilantes in the forest, not allocated to them by any government, they are not known to be there by any government, and they themselves did not know that there is also a government called Oyo State government, that they engaged the Amoyekun corps members in gun battles until they were overpowered. Then the story changed to no, they were not terrorists, they were vigilantes. That was where Sunday Igboho came in. For the upteenth time, he was from that area. I mean, he is from that area. He went there, and the story of how the Seriki Fulani left. Seriki Fulani of Igongon is just like a part of the puzzle of what is going on in the forest of Yorubaland, which cut across all the geographical states they have allocated to the Yorubas in Nigeria today. No state is safe, not even Lagos State. But then the rumor, I mean, the news came that Seriki Fulani, that we have heard a lot about, and his boys, who eventually ran away when the people came to challenge them on their own, on their atrocities. The son of Seriki Fulani in Igongon, who was on the run at the time, wrote on social media that if Sunday Igboho claim to be powerful, if Yorubas want to claim to be powerful, they should go and try what they tried with his father. We should go and try that with Wakili and see if we will go back home complete. That's what he said. But around that time, the pressure on the Oyo State government from Abuja was mounting. Instead of Seyi Makinde to use the collaborative effort and the alertness of his own people in Oyo State, especially people from that axis, to bring them together and help and strengthen Amoyekun to further flush out the criminals, they soft-pedaled. They changed the narratives. They made Sunday Igboho the aggressor. Don't forget that. That was where we were. That was where Wakili came into the picture. Because after Igongon, the effort was to go after all these Wakili and his boys who are armed to the teeth, committing crimes that are well established, even by the state governments themselves. But they have a different approach. They called Sunday Igboho and all the young people standing up to put a stop to the kidnapping for ransom, raping of women, children, ransacking of homes, burning down of homes, properties, destruction of farmlands, killing of anyone who stands on their way. There were people who are really, really aggressive. I mean, who are really, angry, and they want to react. So the government was not interested in, to them, they will be the aggressors. Now, we've made a mistake going after the criminals. And Abuja is pressuring us. Miyegun is pressuring them. So they decided to gaslight Sunday Igboho. That was when the mission to go after Wakili was aborted. If not, Wakili would have left, would be gone. After Wakili Fulani in Igongon left, Wakili would have left immediately, maybe a week after that. But the moment the government now turned Sunday Igboho to the aggressor, so everything he said was turned into a criticism of why did he say that? Why would he say that? Some people were even agreeing with Seyi Makinde. Meanwhile, at the forefront of the war, where the people are still being victimized, who are still falling victims of these marauders, yeah? The government is doing nothing. The government is trying to give a sort of olive branch, give them olive oil, olive branch. How can we do it? Maybe we should just, implement part of that national livestock policy, which is, known as Ruga. So they were looking for ways, and they were also looking to satisfy the angry Aso Rock, the angry Miyegun. So they decided to go after Sunday Igboho rather than go after Wakili. 2 months after that first flush out by the government, which was aborted, 2 months after that, Wakili became stronger. The complaint grew further, and people begin to get restless. So the restlessness of the people is now bringing back Sunday Igboho into it, but in a different way. Let me take you a bit back to why are we having all of this? Where is all of this coming from? What is wrong? What happened? I'll take you back. 3 years ago, 3 years ago precisely, 2018, Gani Adams, the Aare Kakanfo, which in the Western parlance can be regarded to the field marshal, the controller, it's like the control general of the Yoruba army. He has the power, the Yoruba constitutional power, to assemble soldiers to defend Yorubaland against any suspected external aggression. That is the position of Aare Kakanfo. But this is 21st century. Yoruba is part of Nigeria. A contraption put together that never works. So therefore, we have partly submitted our sovereignty to defend ourselves, to bear arms, to protect our women. We have partly submitted that sovereignty to Nigeria. So if Nigeria wasn't in the picture and Yorubaland is actually Oduduwa Republic, Aare Ona Kakanfo, whoever is appointed, the field marshal or the commander of the Yoruba army, he has that capacity, the power to mobilize the army, young, old, far, near, local, extra, everywhere, to defend Yorubaland. So 3 years ago, Aare Ona Kakanfo of Yorubaland, Gani Adams, raised an alarm about a research conducted by the team of Agbekoya in Yorubaland. For those of you who probably don't know Agbekoya, one day I will do a series on Agbekoya. Just a refresher. They were the traditional. Let me see how I'm going to put it in a context here. They are our own traditional, homegrown, soldiers of liberty. Let me put it that way. Soldiers of liberty, soldiers of liberation. They believe in one thing and one thing only: Yoruba independence. Yoruba independence. They will defend it by anything. Call them young, old. They have done it many times. They are not. Their allegiance is not to any political class, religion, or whatever you want to target. It is simply to Yoruba, and we still have them. They tend to be the real, so far, the real soldiers of liberation in Yorubaland that never dies. Agbekoya. They fought wars, by the way. If you have to read, go on Google now and read about Ogun Agbekoya and who are the Agbekoyas in Yorubaland. One day I'm going to do a series on them, but that's not where we're going. They did a research, security research in Yorubaland, and they found a total of, 3 years ago, a total of 1,744 illegal Fulani camps in Yorubaland that nobody could really define or explain how they got there, what they are doing there, and who are they. 1,740 something. God knows how many there are now. The government, ordinarily, the governors in Yorubaland, they have the resources to enhance and improve this research and work with the result they have to protect the Yoruba people. We are mainly agriculturists, traders. That's who we are before now. Some people are saying maybe we should, if they have a good intelligence report in Yorubaland, those who are in charge of Yorubaland, they should have brought up the idea of cluster farming, where all the farms in Yorubaland, in every state, every local government areas, they are not far from each other. They are all next to one another. So if they want to provide security for them, they can provide a cluster security system for them, which means this security protects all the farmers in this axis. This security protects all the farmers in this axis. But for 3 years, these governors did nothing. They played politics with it. They called it propaganda. They buried a vital information that could have prevented us from what is happening today. Something that they could have aired on, a very powerful information that they could have used to question the relationship of Yoruba with Nigeria today, the security situation. They left it on for 3 years. And here we are. We are now talking about how to save ourselves from becoming refugees in other countries, because we now have our people who are now 3 years ago, they were not refugees. 3 years ago, there were people with this information. I have been talking about this for 3 years. It's going to come to this. It's going to come to this. One day, our silence, our loud silence, which is so deafening, will catch up with us. It is catching up with us. So, for 3 years, we did nothing. And today, we are reporting mass kidnappings, mass attacks, villages being ransacked. Ogun State, as we speak right now, Ogun State is the first state in Yorubaland to witness the refugee influx. I mean, turn our own citizens to refugees in another country because they are running away from the killer herdsmen in their own communities. We're talking about over 40 communities affected. More than 12 of them are completely empty now. In Ogun State alone. Now, you can no longer call it a propaganda. You can no longer call it an hate message, or because somebody hates them or something. You can no longer call it an imagination, an imaginary assumption of anybody anymore. You can't. The facts are proving that we ignored this for 3 years, and our people are paying the price today. More people are going to pay the price. 3 years, they did nothing. They were working on olive, carrot, and stick, whatever they call it. So, take a moment and let this sink in. Let this sink into you now, okay? Because this is historical. Do you know that? It is historical because we have been reading about, we have been sharing stories. We have been reading about the victims of a Boko Haram, victims of a Fulani bandit, victims of these kidnappers and all of them. In northern Nigeria, I have been reporting that for more than 8 years. But today, as we talk about hundreds of thousands of Nigerians from northern Nigeria who are now refugees in Niger Republic, in Chad, in Cameroon, in Mali, where people are running away from their own homes because the government cannot protect them. We report that. We say, what if one day our own people become refugees too? Some of you never, ever imagined that day will ever come. Now, take a moment and let that sink in, because this is the moment, the historical moment. You are going to accept it that what you thought could never happen has happened, but it's going to get worse. That's another part you probably don't like me saying, that it is going to get worse. There is a reason why it gets here. It got to this level. There is a reason. I have just told you the reasons. We ignored the vital information. Very, very vital. If we had paid attention to it, if the politicians have paid attention to it, if the governors have paid attention to it, if the royal fathers, the kings have paid attention to it, if all the politicians, the opinion molders, the opinion leaders, if they have paid attention to this, they said it was a propaganda to hate people. Can you tell me the offense of our people who are now refugees in Benin Republic? Can we say, right, Yorubas are now refugees in a neighboring country. Why those who are still within are trapped in an arrangement that God knows why they are comfortable with it. They aborted the effort to flush out these terrorists in Ibarapa. They have already taken over Ogun State. But sadly, today, Aare or Kakanfo, who told us yesterday that Yorubas are working now, since we have realized that they have crippled and compromised Amotekun. Amotekun has been compromised by different intentions of different players who are trying to use that same Amotekun for God knows what, except to protect Yorubas. Sunday Igboho met with Aare Kakanfo. After that, Aare Kakanfo came out 24 hours ago, and he said, we are working to assemble soldiers for Yorubaland, that we now have to protect Yorubaland. That is a vote of no confidence in Amotekun. And that vote of no confidence should be unanimous. If you're a Yoruba man watching me right now, my brothers and sisters, uncles, aunties, mommies, daddies, juniors, and all of you, listen. The security situation in Nigeria is so bad that people are no longer asking the police to protect them because they won't. People are no longer asking the military to protect them because they won't. People are no longer asking the state secret police to protect them anymore because they won't. People are now resorting into what is called self-help, local help. People are now forming vigilante groups to protect themselves. Yeah? That is after the governors came together, big jamboree, that they were starting a security outfit for also in Yorubaland. We celebrated it. We were so happy that finally we're going to have people who speak your language, who can easily address issues based on humanity part, not animals, criminals in black uniforms, mourners in black uniforms. We didn't know that it was another decoy to make us relax and submit our sovereignty again to people who promise. They continue to promise to protect us, but they won't. So after the launch of Amotekun, and we have seen the attitude of all the state governors to the Amotekun formation in their different states, Ogun State, where the people are now refugees in Benin Republic, their governor signed part of the Amotekun security deal. The Ogun State House of Assembly passed the law that established Amotekun. That was about a year and a half ago. Now, no single Amotekun training recruitment was done in Ogun State until they started planning to do something this year. Can you believe that? And the people of Ogun State are now refugees in Benin Republic. Do you see that? Yeah? So, Iba said, we are going to have our own backup. There was a time they called back all of the OPC veterans. Those who are home, those who are abroad, they return back home. Some of you don't know that. And I'm happy that somehow, their return is making a lot of difference. Although I am going to be very much discreet, somehow, with some information. Not that you won't get them elsewhere. You will get them elsewhere. But I think if I let them know them, if I say them out completely, I will be compromising, the work of these wonderful men and women who are returning to Nigeria because of what they know that is coming. But they are working, and you'll be feeling it. But it is more than that, because today, 24 hours after Gani Adams said, we are going to start our own new security outfit that is going to protect Yorubaland after Amotekun. Wakili, the notorious warlord, Fulani Warlord in Ibarapa, I didn't know he's an old man. This old man. Man, these guys were kings. They are kings in Yorubaland, honestly speaking. Watch this.
Orúkọ mi ni Ṣifádédèjì Olúwọlé. Ọ̀kan nínú ikọ̀ ètò aláàbò ti OPC ti Ààrẹ Gani Adams. Èyí ni bí a ṣe mú Wákìlì ní òní yìí tó jẹ́ ọjọ́ Sunday on the kíndéètì nínú 7 of March. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe ṣèlérí gbogbo àgbáyé pa máa mú Wákìlì àti mú Wákìlì mo ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Wákìlì ti wà nínú mọ́tò pẹ̀lú mi, mo ti ń gbé lọ sí gbòòrò pẹ̀lú àwọn ajagunta ẹ̀ tó kó sódì. So ohun tó jọ mí lójú ni pé nígbà tí mo rí ẹni tó ń pè ní Wákìlì yìí, àgbàlagbà ni tó dẹ̀ ń mókun ṣìkà tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ bí fún ọjọ́ pípẹ́ ní agbègbè Ìbàràpá àti Òkè Ògùn lápapọ̀. Òun ló ń kó àwọn ajagunta àwọn tó ń pààyàn jí wa lọ́mọ gbé, ṣe oríṣiríṣi bà oko wa jẹ́. ní agbègbè Ìbàràpá ọtí ọwọ́ Oòduà ti tẹ̀ báyìí. Èyí ni bá ṣe ń rìnrìn àjò náà láti inú igbó ìlú Wakili tá ń lọ sí inú ìgboro Ayítẹ́ báyìí tá dẹ̀ máa gbàbẹ̀ jáde sí Gbọ̀ọ̀rà ká tó lọ fà fún àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò ti DSS láti jẹ́ pé kí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ kí wọ́n fi ojú sí àtijọba àpapọ̀ kí wọ́n mọ nǹkan tó bá máa ṣe sí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀. Torí mo sọ fún gbogbo àgbáyé pé a máa mú Wakili láì ní sí ìtàgé sílẹ̀, a máa mú wá láàyè fún gbogbo àgbáyé. Bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ní àárọ̀ yìí àwọn ọmọ ogun ẹ̀ wọ́n kọjú bọ̀dà wá, but pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn Olódùmarè àtàtìlẹ́yìn Oòduà nǹkan kan ò ṣe ẹnikẹ́ni nínú gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tá a jọ lọ. So mo sọ gbogbo àgbáyé báyìí pé a ti mú Wakili a dẹ̀ ti ń gbé lọ sínú ìgboro. Bàbá tí wọ́n ń pè ní Wakili ni bàbá Wakili kí ló ṣe ẹ́ bọ́n tó ṣe dínkù tó ń dé lánàá ni àbí ẹsẹ̀ ń ro ẹ́ pẹ̀lú ọjọ́ orí yìí bàbá ṣó dáa kẹ́ máa ní wá lára ojú wa ń dùn yín. Nígbà wo lẹ ti dé sí Ìbàràpá? Ó tọ́dún méje ti dé Ìbàràpá. Bàbá ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ náà kí n lè fi yín sílẹ̀ níbi kí n gbé yín padà lọ sí ẹ̀yìn abúlé yín. Ọdún lẹ ti dé Ìbàràpá? Ọdún lẹ ti dé Ìbàràpá? Ẹ̀yin tó yẹ pé àwọn ọmọ yín sàlàyé fún wa ń sì ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ láti Kòtónú lánàá ni ẹ lọ ṣojú yín ní Kòtónú. Ṣojú nìkan lọ ṣe ń Kòtónú ní abẹ́ ṣe nǹkan mi lọ́hùn. So bàbá tó ń jẹ́ Wakili ni gbogbo ayé ń wò lórí fídíò yìí. So ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ bọ́yìn pretend nìyẹn but nígbà tá a débẹ̀ láàárọ̀ ìdarí ó ń sàlọ́gbọ̀n ni wọ́n lè mú. So but láti gbà yẹn bọ́yìn pretend náà ni. So ẹ ṣeun bóyá jẹ́ nìyẹn gbogbo àgbáyé o. A máa lọ mú fún àwọn agbófinró báyìí. A bá mú fún wọn tán á jẹ́ kí ẹ máa gbọ́ nǹkan tá a bá tún ṣe lórí ẹ̀. Ẹ ṣe sá.
Ìdó ọmọ tí ó yìnbọn rẹpẹtẹ tí bọ́ ń dún tí ò dúró tó yìnbọn sáwọn yẹn.
Àwọn tẹ́lẹ̀ jọ ń gbé sùn ẹgbẹ́ yẹn pọ̀ àwọn ọkùnrin yòókù tẹ́jọ́ ń gbé bẹ̀ tó sá lọ pẹ̀lú ìbọn yẹn. Àwọn ìbọn tí gbogbo àwọn ìbọn yín bolẹ̀ máa ń kó wọn sí. Tó bá mú mi láti ìbọn yẹn bá wà ń sìn èmi máa sọ fún ìjọba pé kán fi ẹ́ sílẹ̀.
Wàláì ọ̀gá èmi fúnra tèmi kò sí ìbọn èmi ò mọ níbi tí ìbọn ló wà wàláì kọ́dà láti lóhùn gbà tí ó rí níbi tí ó ti náà ni wọ́n ní èmi ò mọ èmi ìbọn tèmi ó wà yàgà mo ti sọ mo ti gbọ́ padà mo ní nǹkan tí mo mọ ìbọn tèmi tí mo ṣe ó wà yàgà.
Ìbọn tiẹ̀ wà ní yàgà kù bọ̀tí ìbọn tẹ̀yìn láàárọ̀ kì í ṣe pálíjọ́ ló gbé wá fún iṣá ìbọn yẹn tẹ̀yìn láàárọ̀ yẹn bọ̀bọ̀ sì yìnbọn yẹn ó ń sá lọ mo rí báyìí tó ń sá lọ bọ̀tí máa gbọ́ ó ń bẹ̀ sí yìnbọn sáwọn èèyàn láàárọ̀ yìí sáwọn èèyàn wá láàárọ̀ yìí bọ̀tà wo fẹ́ mú fún sátẹlẹ́wọ́ wa ni ó yẹ ká yìnbọn fún padà bóyá ń sá lọ yẹn so bọ̀tà wo ò ní ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fún yín bàbá yìí ló ń kọ́ yín pé kẹ́ máa yìnbọn yẹn kẹ́ máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣé bàbá yìí ló ń kọ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí Wakili yìí bóyá ìdàgbà tó yìí ṣé ìwọ̀n tó ń ṣe yẹn dáa.
Ṣé bàbá ilé kí ni tó bá rí bàbá ilé ìjà tí yóò ṣe ní gàjọ ojúmọ́ tó bá alágbàdo yóò jáde màálù yóò ṣe nǹkan tí olùkọ́
láti àárọ̀ yìí nísìnyí bàbá tó yẹ pé mo ṣe láàárọ̀ yìí ń sá lọ ní nísìnyí ó wá ń ṣe bí ẹni pé nǹkan kan ń ṣe àbí.
bàbá ilé kò ní níbo ní lọ tó bá ń sá lọ.
níbo ló ń lọ tèbó lọ sí Faransé kí ló lọ sí Faransé.
lójú ni ó ti lọ ní asibiti.
ó lọ sí Faransé lọ ṣe ojú ó lọ ṣe ojú ní Faransé àbí so Faransé yẹn lè ti máa ń kó bọ̀ wọnú ìlú wa àbí ní Faransé ló ti máa ń ra àwọn ìbọn yẹn wá àbí.
mo ní kwarakú ní lóbu kó ní.
kí ló lọ ṣe ní Faransé ó lọ ṣe ojú ẹ̀ ní Faransé bọ̀ ó ti Faransé dé lánàá nísìnyí ńgbà tí ọwọ́ wa tẹ̀ tọwọ́ àwọn aráàlú tẹ̀ tán sìn ó wá ń ṣe bí èyí pé àìsàn ń ṣe àbí ẹ má wọrí á fà yìí fún ìjọba.
Sorry if you probably didn't understand the Yoruba, and I was reading your comments as well, where many of you feel like this shouldn't be put out there. Well, it should be put out there for the record, okay? We are not barbarians. We are not barbaric people, all right? In Nigeria is a lawless country, fine, okay? But nevertheless, except if indeed, you know, in the course of exchanging gunfire and all of that, anybody fall short of that. Yeah, I will agree with that. But once you are captured alive, the right thing is what they have done to let you know that if they are allowed, listen, if they are allowed to do the right thing, these criminals will have no place to stay. These are civilians who are like trained combatants in Yorubaland, okay? There are real paid people paid, security agents paid by the government, paid by the taxpayers to bring about, to arrest the criminals like that, not just arrest them, but ensure that they face justice for whatever crime they've committed. That will serve as a deterrent to others. And that's how you curb crime. That's how you curb any division, hate, and anything at all. That's what government should do. But Nigeria's security system has collapsed, so security architecture has collapsed so badly, so terribly bad, that rather than the police and the military to protect the people, they will protect the criminals because they have guns. They are talking about guns and guns and guns. Unfortunately, I received the news that these guys who did this today, who made this arrest today, who probably were able to give the people of Ibarapa access, another new breath of fresh air when the news of the arrest of Wakili broke out. Yeah, that joy, that happiness is now short-lived. From the news I received, or from the report I've received in the last couple of hours after this, they said these guys have been arrested. Wakili has been freed. In fact, he's been taken to the hospital. The people, according to the report, he is arrested by the police. I mean, they are arrested rather. They are arrested by the Nigerian police, or they ordered their arrest, and they picked all the guys up now. They are on their own, and I can bet it. I can tell you, there is no police order and police IG order of arrest or anything. When you trace this very well, you will see Seyi Makinde's hand in it. That's why I don't want to come on it fully until I have my full report on that. That if truly we confirm that these guys who arrested Wakili today handed him over to the police, they didn't do anything to him. You saw that, yeah? They didn't do anything to him. So if it is true that the Nigerian police has arrested them, we'll find out later. We'll find out who ordered that. Because in the last 2 days, the report we received was that the government of Oyo State, led by Seyi Makinde, was in negotiation with the government of Kwara State, who is providing temporary security for the Fulani herdsmen and their families who ran away from the forest of Ibarapa after what happened in Gongon. So that Seyi Makinde is planning to bring them back to Oyo State from Kwara and build them settlements, build them schools, hospitals, and all of that, so that will bring peace. Since this whole thing started, I have seen Seyi Makinde met with the victims and the people of Ibarapa, but I have not seen anything after that towards the victims, rehabilitation of the victims, those who have felt victims, who have been killed, who have lost loved ones since this whole thing started, even before Seyi Makinde became governor. So I'm not going to be surprised if it is the Oyo State government that picked up these people. Because the guys who went there today, they will be considered as people who came to Oyo State to arrest a warlord, a powerful warlord. And they will need to actually prove to Abuja that whatever peace deal that Seyi Makinde is having with them, with the Fulanis in Yorubaland, in Oyo State, whatever peace deal is having with them is still intact. Do you get that now? So I am not 100% saying this is ordered by Seyi Makinde, but we will find out. I have not had enough time to, you know what I mean, to bring you updates on that, but it has happened. If truly they are arrested, we will find out who and why. Wakili, as I'm speaking to you right now, Wakili is currently in a government hospital, heavily protected and being cared for right now. And this is to tell you that if you have anyone that is completely against the safety, the protection of Yoruba people in Yorubaland, there are no other people than the Yoruba governors, the Yoruba senators, the Yoruba reps, the Yoruba politicians, Yoruba traditional rulers. We need to begin to scrutinize them now, so as for everyone to know where they belong to. We captured this when Sunday Igboho was in Ekiti 2 days ago. I wanted to share that with you before now. However, I think this is the right time for you to see the mood of the people, that these governors are trying to trade away their lives, trying to trade away their safety, trying to turn to refugees, even when they believe that they are trying to save them. There's no safety when you can't punish criminals. If you can't punish criminals who have committed crimes, then you will stop people. I mean, you won't be able to stop people from defending themselves. And if you think it is not obvious that people know what is going on, maybe we should show them this.
Ire Ekiti so ibẹ̀rẹ̀ wà báyìí bàbá Sunday Igboho ló lead àwọn ọmọ ogun ẹ̀ wá sínú inú igbó náà sọ pé àwọn Fúlàní náà wá recently náà ti wá pa àwọn èèyàn so wọn náà ṣe wá síbẹ̀ inú igbó náà wà lọ́wọ́ ẹtí. Inú igbó lọ́jà làwà yìí ó làwà yìí.
That was Ire Ekiti 2 days ago, and it was actually the crowd you just watched. They are one sec. That crowd you just watched. They were going after the settlement in the forest of Ekiti, where Fulani terrorists just killed 2 people. They killed a man on his farm for stopping the Fulani herders from grazing on his farm and destroying his farmland. So in retaliation, the Fulani herdsmen, they killed him, and they killed a boy with him. 2 people were killed. And that's what it is. That's the story. That's what people have to face. You either let them do it, or you fight them. If you fight, it's a two-way. If you fight them and you think you have won, the retaliation is that the government will send the soldiers to come after you, and you can get killed like that, just like that. That's the story they don't want the world to know. This is something they don't want anyone to talk about. So they were there yesterday. 2 days ago. Seyi Makinde, Governor Seyi Makinde. I don't think you are thinking things are true at all. You're not. A clash happened in Shasha, in Ibadan. Fulani Miyetiala, who bombed down the properties of Yorubas, who are their host. Yoruba thugs, Fulani thugs, everybody and the rest of them, they fought themselves in Shasha. People died. And when the police investigated the whole thing, the 7 people they have arrested are all Yorubas. No single Hausa man or a Fulani man. Were they saying that the Yoruba were burning their own houses, fighting the Fulani in the market? Seyi Makinde, you are not thinking things true. You're not. And today, the young people who came out to pick up a notorious warlord that you know about, that you would rather sit down with, and few hours after that, they are reported to have been arrested by the powers that be. Really? I'm so short of word there because of the way I actually take Seyi Makinde himself. But yeah, it is power. Things gets dirty now. But one thing that we should also tell the likes of Seyi Makinde is that if you think power gets you dirty and makes you so dirty enough that you will sacrifice our people for whatever lackluster, whatever, gain they want to give to you, or you are currently benefiting, whatever it is, sitting down in any discussion where you are comfortable sacrificing Yorubas, there is no way that is going to fly. It's going to be a tough nut for you to crack in the long run. Yeah, in the long run. There are victims. We haven't seen any empathy from the government. In Ogun State, where our people are now refugees in Benin Republic, the Ogun State government, as we speak right now, you would expect them to already have their own agents in Benin Republic right now, attending to the women, to the children, to our people who are now refugees there, providing shelter for them, providing psychological help for them. We should have been seeing that in the news already. That, okay, since they have already left Nigeria for Benin Republic, their properties have been destroyed. Should you not see any empathy at all from the people who want us to take them serious, that they are speaking for us? One Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. We are keeping the record. We are. And we're going to be identifying those who profit from our misery, those who brought death upon us, and those who brought misery upon us, and the people who are benefiting from it. We will call your names. We will name names. We will name names so that your own children, the generation after you, will know what you have done. In case if you are not thinking right as I talk. Maybe if you are not thinking right, straight. I am yet to read it anywhere that Seyi Makinde his government is paying and rehabilitating farmers who have been victims of farm invasions and destructions in Oyo State. I haven't read anything like that. But Seyi Makinde was bold enough to come on social media, on Twitter, to tell us that his government is talking to his brother, my brother in Kwara State, to bring and return all the Fulani people who left Ibarapa forest, to bring them back to Oyo State and resettle them. My government is also planning to implement part of the national livestock policy of Bokuwari, which is Ruga. Like, come on. Come on. We won't forget. We won't. I mean, if sincerity of purpose is to be shown, that number one, Seyi Makinde is elected by the legal residents of Oyo State. He wasn't elected by, I don't think he was elected by the Fulani armed as men in the forest of Ibarapa who don't even have voters card. You don't even have their names. How come the Yoruba governors are in bed? Look at what is going on in Ekiti. Yoruba governors are tongue-tied to speak for their own people, and they still want to be respected. They will still want to be called honorable men and women. Who does that? Ask yourself. Gani Adams told us about illegal Fulani settlements in Yorubaland. It was very, very specific and, 1,748 or so. Maybe it's now over 2,000. Who knows? The Yoruba governors, the Yoruba think tanks, Yoruba traditional rulers, every one of them, they ignored it. and they left our people at the mercy of their killers. Then people started getting up to do the work of government. It is now the same government that is working day and night to shut them down. What will be Seyi Makinde's gain? Fayemi, the governor of Ekiti, the Mr. Fix-It of APC, Egbekegbe in Yorubaland, Fayemi pushed aside the law of Ekiti land, the law of Ekiti State, made by Ekiti State House of Assembly, that open grazing is illegal in Ekiti State. If any cow is found in any part of Ekiti State openly, the owners of the cow should be arrested, right? If he's lucky, he will spend 2 years in jail. If he is not, then he will spend more than 10 years in jail. His cows will be confiscated, slaughtered, and shared to all the locals in the area. That's the law of Ekiti State, too. And Fayemi sworn to protect that law, to defend that law. That law is the same law that the same one they are trying to replicate fraudulently in Yorubaland. They said, oh, open grazing is illegal in Yorubaland, but it's a lie. They don't have the balls to implement it. During Fayoshe's time, they will capture the cows, capture the owner of the cow, and the report of Fulani terrorists killing farmers in Ekiti State died completely under Fayoshe. But APC, Egbekegbe, when Fayemi came in, they opened the door. They said, all Fulanis are welcome in Ekiti State, but we want you to conduct your business. Don't fight. Now, since Fayemi came in, they have killed more than 20 people in clashes of Fulani versus this and that. What is Fulani versus farmers? When a farmer is on his farm fighting an invader that is about to kill him, and you report that as a Fulani, you are reporting that as a farmer's others clash. That's a murder, that's homicide. Somebody get killed on his farm, defending himself against cows that invaded his farm. You call that clashes. What is clashes there? Fayemi killing the Ekiti people and walking majestically. He is so afraid. He is so scared to even, when he went today, he went to see the family of the farmer, the family of those killed by Fulani terrorists in Ekiti today. And when he got there, he consulted with the family, and he was giving his press statement. Do you know what he said? He was not bold enough to say Fulani herdsmen. That was how scared all these Lilliputian simpletons that you call your governors. This is how they are. They are men without scruples. They are soulless, godless men. Opportunists, we call them. Do you get that now? He couldn't pronounce the word. He said, foreign Bororo herdsmen. That's what the governor said. He said, this, the man that was killed by foreign Bororo herdsmen. That's what they do. Same way they changed Boko Haram to bandits. And their media continue to change it to bandit. Every effort is to underplay the danger, underreport the, try and do so well to cut out the victims, make the victims the villain, make them the people who committed the crime, blame them, so that they will not have the soul, they will not have the guts to tell their stories. When your governor says foreign Bororo herdsmen in Ekiti State, foreign Bororo herdsmen in Ekiti State, shouldn't that be enough for all the Yoruba governors to say, if we all have foreign Bororo herdsmen killing our people in our state, and our arrangement with the federal government of Nigeria is that the military will protect all the territorial integrity of Nigeria, the police will provide internal security, the military will protect you know what I mean? So shouldn't the governors be asking themselves, say, can't we just go and ask them, how did the foreign Bororo get to Ekiti? Ekiti is not close to Niger Republic. How did they get to Ekiti? Shouldn't they be asking? But they know that if they ask, they're either going to end up in jail, because the Fulani jihadists in government of Nigeria, they have what they call the compromat. Google it. What is the meaning of compromat? Compromat is this tiny debt, dirty stuff that they have on you. Once I have that dirty on you, I can make you do whatever I want. Or else, that little debt I have on you can ruin you and destroy everything you are trying to protect for not doing what I want you to do. Should I break it down for you? Compromat. It's like somebody knowing your secrets that can destroy you completely, either send you to jail or anything, or even kill you. And they say, when you see Fulani, you as a governor, when you see Fulani, don't ever, ever join those who are arresting Fulani, or else, we know you. And he has to understand that he must not say anything that will offend the person that has the compromat on him or her. Compromat is what all the Fulani oligarchs have on the Yoruba political criminals, Yoruba traditional leaders, paramount rulers, or religious leaders, opinion molders, many of them that are unable to speak their mind at any point in time. Do you know what happened? It is the compromat that the Fulani oligarchs has on them. And because they have it on them, they can't speak their mind. They can't stand up for their people. They would rather blame their people, call them the people who are the aggressors and the rest of the right. Because if they fail to do that, they will release the compromat on them. And that person you are calling a governor today, you will immediately realize that it's not different from that common, what do you call it? Non-existing ghost. And this cut across all tribes. So this is what they have on us. This is what they have on the Yoruba. And that is why when I told you that if we have to start changing things, if we have to start making a difference, right, we need to start changing those who currently parade themselves as Yoruba leaders. They are bad, terrible people that the criminals holding Nigeria together, criminals who are now holding Nigeria the jugular, or forcing Yoruba to continue to take bad deals from Nigeria, these criminals have compromat on them. So therefore, none of them will ever say anything to fight for Yorubaland. None of them. And in not saying anything to defend Yorubaland, in not standing up for Yoruba people in this project Nigeria, in not questioning whatever agreement we have with Nigeria right now, every governor in Yorubaland, every politician in Yorubaland, for them not questioning it, they deserve no right. They have no right to speak for us at all anymore. Do you get that now? So we need to begin to have that mentality that they all must go. We need to start uprooting them politically from Yorubaland. Get rid of them. Take them away from that table. And send in people who genuinely are ready to take Yoruba out of Nigeria. This is a bad arrangement. It is a bad arrangement. A bad arrangement that makes it difficult for us, right, to determine how we want to grow, the way or direction we want to be governed. But we are smuggled into an arrangement called Nigeria that is non-negotiable, yet nobody has a copy of the deal. At least you must have a copy of a deal that is non-negotiable. The clause and everything, there must be. But because there is none, that one Nigeria is a manufactured, brainwashed existence that they have planted into our life, that we have brought to life. When I say I'm a Nigerian, that's me bringing that Nigeria to life. But ask them, who is a Nigerian? Nobody knows. To an average Fulani man, I don't blame him. I just blame the fact that I'm a Yoruba man that has to come and sit down and discuss a Fulani man because I'm part of Nigeria. I shouldn't be. Maybe if they are discussing Africa, then Fulani country will come there, Yoruba country will come there, Biafra country will go there, Ijo country will go there. There are countries, Malta in Europe. Their total population is not up to 500,000. Malta. There are some local governments in what do you call it? In Nigeria there that are bigger than Malta. So why not that? Why should I? But yeah, here I am. Even if I want to speak my mind about how I feel, I'm not allowed to, because I want to know who is a Nigerian. Let's define it. Somebody says he's a Fulani, wherever he comes from, he's a Nigerian. Yeah. A governor came out and he told us that. He said every Fulani from every part of Africa is a Nigerian. They can pick up the Nigerian citizenship. Yeah. How is that? Do you get that? How? And when you ask, okay, what really defines a citizen? What defines what's my citizenship? Define my citizenship as a Nigerian. They say, well, since you are a Yoruba and you have Ogun State in Nigeria, you are a Nigerian. That's it. Forget the rest. How? That's not a definition of citizenship. I'm not going to walk into Ghana and I'll say because I'm a black man and I'm a Ghanaian, and so be it. I'm going to pick up Ghanaian passport. That's not how it should be. Come on. Many of you who agree with this kind of sentiment, some of you don't even live in that existence yourself. You don't live in that reality yourself. You live in a reality that is more defined. Yet you accepted something the common thoughts, criminals, political urchins, career criminals who have made fortune from your miseries give opinions about Nigeria. It's non-negotiable. Nigerians' unity, Nigerians this and that is not. Bring out the deal. Let's see the deal. And we can see if it is negotiable or not. Who has it? Nobody. No one has the deal. There's no deal about Nigeria. It was an arrangement put together from time immemorial. So who told you that you can have your own country and everybody can meet at African Union to discuss, just like European Union? Yoruba people, we have a population of over 80 million people, home and abroad. Who says we can be a country? The total population of the United Kingdom is about 85 million. The total population of Scotland is about 5.5 million. The total population of Ogun State is about 5.3 million. So Ogun State and Scotland is about to get independence, continue to push for it. And the reason why you will never have any united front to push for this and have that conversation in Nigeria is because the people who are benefiting from Nigeria today, let me put it this way, the people who are calling themselves the Yoruba leaders in Yorubaland today, who have failed in everything, they have failed. But yet they are parading themselves as Yoruba leaders, Yoruba representatives, opinion leaders, and all of that. They are benefiting from Nigeria. And they will never have any chat around discussing Yoruba. They can tell you they will do it if I become governor. We have to do it. It's a lie. Give them the chance. When they become the governor, boom, that's it. 22 years ago, a young Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was he was pretty much their star boy. He was going to be the governor of Lagos State. He was a very star boy. Bola Tinubu. 22 years ago. He was one of those who were telling us when we were younger that Yoruba deserve better. That is either Nigeria is restructured and restructured back to 1963 Republican Constitution, where Yorubas were in charge of their own affairs. Nigeria will not go anywhere. Bola Tinubu became governor. The story changed. Instead of them bringing Yoruba to the center table and discuss the regionalism they campaigned all along for, use the image of Awolowo to deceive millions of Yorubas 22 years ago. That dream died when Tinubu became the governor of Lagos State. Rather than them build that consensus across Yorubaland, build a united front, renegotiate the Yoruba's arrangement in Nigeria, they went for the jugular of Afenifere. You know the story. They killed Afenifere. They destroyed everything that brought them to power. He started his own new party his own new party that will make him the godfather, the decider, the one who know the future of Yoruba people, the one who can then discuss and decide the future of the political future of Yoruba people. That was the beginning. Don't ever forget. 22 years ago, Tinubu believed in the breakup of Nigeria. He believed so much that Yoruba deserves better. Today, 22 years after that, we are more poorer than we were 22 years ago. Our education is more destroyed than we were 22 years ago. Our healthcare system is more destroyed than we were 22 years ago. Even our own family system destroyed in 22 years. Today, the result of Tinubu's future for Yoruba that made him destroy the Afenifere, destroyed everybody in Afenifere, destroy all the legacy they could have, and then cash on the one that works for them. Afenifere, progressive. And 22 years after that, no single state in Yorubaland can produce and provide 24 hours electricity. No single state in Yorubaland has a working healthcare system. No single state in Yorubaland has a working educational system. No single state in Yorubaland has a working and improve the infrastructural development, infrastructural system in Yorubaland. No single Yoruba state has a working economy. No single one. 22 years after that. So they can tell you again. They will do it. They are doing it. The result today is that Agberos are superstars in Yorubaland. Political criminality is more profitable than you wasting your time going to school to earn, a knowledge and all of that. 22 years after that, today, you and I are now talking about our people now, refugees in Benin Republic. Think about that. Just think about that. So if I'm asking you that we need to change course, we really need to. And when I say change course, it means that we have to change those who are parading themselves as Yoruba political leaders who are speaking for us. You are going to agree with me. Honestly, you will agree with me, except when that your sentiment part kicks in. I'm begging you, leave it out for now. Don't let that kick in now, okay? Don't let it. Because your conscience is telling you, Maiyegun is making sense. I never thought about it that way. Maiyegun, this makes sense. 22 years ago, the dream was different. The expectations were different. 22 years after, we are being told to be grateful that we are still alive. Can you think about that? Flashback. Your mind is telling you that right now. You are agreeing with me right now that we have retrogressed. And for every individual, dead or alive, especially those still alive, parading themselves as the mouthpiece, representatives of Yoruba people in the current arrangement of Nigeria, telling Yorubas to calm down, you are overreacting. They are just waiting for our funeral. They are waiting for our death. That's what they're waiting for. They know it's going to come with what they have done. We are trapped, and we are still expecting them to perform magic. In 2021, 22 years after Yoruba agreed to join democracy, we have more poor people in Yorubaland. More poor people. As if that is not enough. We have our people who are now refugees. Yoruba refugees in Benin Republic. And we still have governors who are still scared, afraid to call for an emergency security meeting right now, stakeholder security meeting right now in Yorubaland, and demand for the negotiation of Yoruba's arrangement with Nigeria right now. I mean, give me one other reason why we shouldn't be asking for that now. Just one reason. Why those who are still being paid as governors, senators, representatives, commissioners, ministers, House of Assembly members, royal fathers, traditional rulers, all of you, give me one good reason why you shouldn't be asking for the renegotiation of Nigeria, of Yoruba's deal with Nigeria now. Because it has gotten to a stage whereby you are not even asking the police to help our people anymore. You know they won't. It has gotten to a stage whereby you can't even ask the military to protect our people anymore. Are you going to start begging people to help us raise money to feed our people who are now refugees in another country? Is that what you're waiting to do? Or you are waiting for the lifeless breathing mannequin that nobody has a clue
in 2019,
where he is?
And as of today, we are being ruled by proxy. Gabashewu is the one issuing, offensive statements every day, telling us what the president is saying, as if the president is incapacitated. Where is the president of Nigeria? Because when these governors are saying these things, when some of them pretend to be helpless or are genuinely helpless, where is the commander-in-chief? We saw our, Air Force men who were involved in the unfortunate air disaster mishap. They were buried. The president was not there. Our troops are being slaughtered in the north. The president is not there at their funeral. When last did the president talk to Nigerians? When last did we see the president grant a media chat? When last did we see the president speak with the victims of these kidnaps? When last did we see the president personally taking responsibility for the killings and the rampage that is going on? So if somebody is telling me that I have a president, I will raise an objection. Because the president that I want should not be a decorative president. It shouldn't be a portrait that, is occasionally brought out for photo ops, just to have some form of proof of life. Why have we lowered the bar? Why have we reduced this responsibility? When governors are making these incendiary comments, the other time you had the governor of Bauchi State coming out to say, oh, herdsmen can carry arms. They are justified to carry AK-47. You have the governor of Zamfara State saying, I will still continue to dialogue with bandits, with terrorists. You have the governor of Niger State saying a different thing. What you are seeing is a nation in crisis. It's a nation in peril. It's a nation that is lacking in direction and leadership. And, we keep trying to be politically correct. The reality at that today is that nobody can tell me that I have a commander-in-chief. You cannot be commanding from your bedroom.
Okay.
You have to lead from the front. That was what he promised.
Okay.
He said he will lead from the front.
Okay.
Today he's not even leading from the back.
Okay, I want to quickly get your reaction. Still, as
Do you get that? It is that bad. And you would expect the man that 22 years ago promised to Yorubas that if Afenifere, and indeed Yoruba delivered, all the states in Yorubaland, were won by the AD, Alliance for Democracy, that brought in Tifnumbu as the governor of Lagos State. Today, the Tifnumbu is hoping to become the president of Nigeria in 2023. Yorubas are being killed. The governors, the cowards, are, burying their heads here and there. But when you ask where is Tifnumbu, I think I found him. He's not interested in anything going on in Yorubaland. Forget it. This is what he's more interested in.
Let us welcome national leader of the All Progressive Congress,
They brought him out to come and commission a bridge, a flyover bridge. The one on his left is the speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, Obasa, the one that was sharing bread for election, and the current man that is currently being investigated for looting over 45 billion naira of Lagos State money. Speak out. You know the story. And then when you come to the state where they have arrested and punished and tortured people for violating the COVID-19 gathering, that's them, lawless criminals. Lawless criminals. They drag Yoruba down here, and well, we'll see how that goes overall. So we hope that my message, I do hope personally, I hope that my message will get to them enough to call for that immediate emergency security meeting, emergency stakeholders meeting in Yorubaland. This is the time for you to begin to demand for the renegotiation of the renegotiation of Yoruba's participation in Nigeria. We should now be bold enough, right, to put it forward. It is time for Yoruba to part ways with Nigeria. We can do it. Yeah, we can. And I believe that the coordination that is currently ongoing is not just preparing us for self-defense, it is preparing us for something bigger that is so close to home, Oduduwa Republic. For those who are still championing for this, for the 2023, I hope you will live long enough to witness that you will not have that your 2023 election with what is on the way. But don't let me put you on the too much loop. I have this video I want to share with you again before I round it up tonight. This video is, it's our own response to the food blockade to the southwest Nigeria by the Fulani Maiyegun. Meanwhile, the food blockade didn't work. It didn't work because nobody responded to it. Some of their foods got rotten and people moved on. However, they said they were returning they are going to return the supply of food and all of that. Meanwhile, they also want the government to pay them 4.7 billion, led by Femi Fani-Kayode, as well as Yeye Bello of Kogi, your next president, by the way. However, let me share this with you again. It's quite educational, and I hope you put this to practice if you have a compound, especially in any part of Yoruba land.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mrs. Tade Wemimo, a recipient of Best Female Farmer Award in Ondo State in 2004. I want to let our people in the Southwest know how we can plant our crops and vegetables inside our compound. It will solve the problem of lack of farmland to cultivate. As you can see in these videos, we planted yams inside bags. We also planted vegetable on top of the yams to serve as mulching during this dry season, which will not be necessary during the rainy season. Meanwhile, we are enjoying the vegetable. Right now, we have planted 400 bags of yams, and we are still planting more. We planted 3 types of yam: white, yellow, and water yams. It is interesting to note that we use rope for staking instead of looking for sticks. This is easy and convenient. Weeding is also minimal. I also want our farmers to note that there are a lot of crops they can plant with bags, e.g. vegetables, tomato, pepper, and so on and so forth. With this method, I believe we can liberate ourselves from the dependency on the Netherlands for all our foodstuffs. We can plant some, at least, by ourselves. We have trained some farmers who have in turn trained some other farmers here in Aare. But I want the training to go around the whole state and the Southwest in general if it is possible. For more information or training, call 0803 475 4122. Thank you.
Thank you. So to every one of you who tuned in tonight, I want to say a big thank you to you and to everyone who also shared this broadcast with your friends and so everywhere. Thank you as well. If you haven't already subscribed on Maiyegun's Diary, please do. It's going to take a sec. Leave that chat room. Come out of the chat. You can go on now and click on that subscribe button. Set your notification and give me a thumb up under this video. Leave that chat room if you really want to do that. Okay? Just for a minute. Do this. Very easy. So, and finally, to our students who are now learning the Oduduwa Republican theme, I have it for you tonight. This is where I'm going to draw the curtains, okay? I am going to see you again tomorrow. You have a wonderful night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Àyè Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé